Hey, my name's Justin, and this is The Art of Repair. And today I'm going to help you control your shaky hands just a little bit better. Okay, so what can I do to prevent my hands from being so shaky, Justin? What is it that you're going to tell me today that's going to allow me to completely and utterly change how I do things in the microscope? Well, I'm just going to give you a couple tips, a couple tricks that I've learned over the years as I've worked in the microscope that may benefit you and help you bring down some of that shake. Alright, first and foremost, I want you to put yourself in a mental state. Okay, I know what I'm about to do I've done about 100 times, and as soon as you hear it, you're going to be like, ooh, quit saying that. But I want you to get it in your head. I want you to be in this mental mindset, okay? We live in the macro, we work in the micro, okay? Everything you do in the macro world it translates so much more when you're working in the micro, okay? That's going to bring me to my very first thing here, breathing. If you cannot control your breathing, or you don't control your breathing while you're working in the microscope, you're going to come to find out that you're going to have a bad time, okay? Now, just to illustrate this point, I'm just going to sit here and breathe, okay? And you'll be able to see that my body as a whole is moving, okay? So what you're seeing there is my lungs are expanding, they're contracting, my body's moving in tandem with it, and that means that if I'm in the microscope and I'm working, whenever I'm breathing, if I'm breathing too heavily, it's going to translate down my arm, into my hand, and it's going to cause whatever I'm doing to move around a whole lot more. Might even shake. So do yourself a favor, start paying attention to your breathing. Okay, you can literally do this as just a straight exercise. And you know what? Breathing exercises, they do a whole lot of good anyway. So practice your breathing. Work on that. It's definitely going to help. The next thing I like to do is I like to put myself in another mental state. Okay, I like to put myself in the state that everything I'm working on, regardless of its build quality, is about to fall apart. If you just assume that everything you're doing is about to fall apart, and you put yourself in that hyper-aware situation, your body is going to kind of correlate with it, and it's going to put you at a heightened sense of alertness to what you're doing. So your hands should start shaking a little bit less if you know that you have to make it count. Alright, this next one I'm just going to show you, and once I show you, you're going to understand. So let's just jump over here to the other camera. I'm going to pick up my tweezers here. We've got a little micro component. I don't know if you can see it or anything. It's irrelevant really to the situation. I'm sitting here, imagine yourself shaking real good, you're just trying to pick something, you're just trying to move something, you're literally just trying to pick it up and place it somewhere else, but you just cannot get the shakes under control today. Usually I come to find that this happens directly after I get back from Starbucks with my giant venti cold brew. You know how that goes. So, what I do in this situation is I just brace myself, okay? It's like a tripod, you know what I mean? You're giving that extra set of stability to what you're doing. You can literally just whop, pick it up. You're keeping your hand steady. You're moving with it. Okay, you're literally forcefully keeping your hands steady. Okay, now you obviously can't do this in every situation, but there will be situations where you have to pick up, move components around, and you don't want to lose it, and you just want to make sure it gets to the right spot. That kind of brings me to like a little side tip. If you have your tip tinner here, keep that little container near your work area, and if you're really just worried about it, you can just pick your component up, drop it in your little tin. There you go. You can move that where you need to move it. Okay? Don't try and move things too far. Okay? You always want to keep eye contact with everything you're working on. Now, and I know that's hard, being that a lot of this stuff is microscopic, but when you start adding feet to something that's in the micron range, you might as well be taking a road trip across the country. So brace your hand, pick it up, put it somewhere safe, and move that safe object to where it needs to go, because then you can use your macro skills and just pick it up and move it. So I've given you 3 different tips on how to actually control the shake. Okay, first one, control your breathing. The second one, imagine everything you're working on is about to fall apart. And if all else fails, number 3, brace yourself. Hopefully, over time, if you use these tips and continue to work forward, you yourself may have your own set of robot devil hands. Don't forget, guys, if you're interested in any of the tools I use, check out the description below. I even have my own custom tools that I sell down there as well, that literally do not exist anywhere else on the planet, except from The Art of Repair. I also have a Patreon where you can help support the channel so I can create even better, high quality content.